COVID was not used to instill fear in the public. The COVID was used to accelerate the vaccination program. The fear was there. They said such a lot of things about COVID, people dying here, there, and everywhere. The issue of criminalization in India overflowing. All last year, right? And in all sorts of places, people dying and lying on the roads and carts coming and taking like the Jewish concentration camps. And that is how they instilled the fear to take the vaccination. That is what happened. But Ceylon or Sri Lanka followed suit, and imported vaccines to the tune of millions and millions of dollars. And this is where the beginning of the economic crisis took place at that point with the COVID vaccines.
Okay. Okay. So now there are a lot of cases of complications, etc., and these have been out in public, and you have mentioned. But people still think these are myths by anti-vaxxers. What are your thoughts? Myths by anti-vaxxers, and these are not fact-based, evidence-based claims. What are your thoughts about it?
No, the problem in this now, you see, this is a Western affair, no? So to get at the proof, of the matter, you have to get the Western doctors involved in this. And they have to do the testing, So the Western doctors have taken all sorts of stances on this matter. At the beginning they said don't take the vaccine, then they said it's dangerous, then they said take it. And it's a bit of a confusion there, So this is the problem. If you are going to establish, and to the best of my knowledge, there has been no checking done as to what happened to the people who got vaccinated. They did not check anything. That is what I have been doing. You know what I mean? So without doing that, you can't get anywhere. No? So there are so many instances where the vaccine is, I won't say due to the vaccine. After taking the vaccine, people got all sorts of degenerative problems. Some people couldn't walk, some people couldn't breathe properly, some people couldn't do their daily exercises, some people couldn't even go and, people used to go to the gym. It happened among lawyers also, I know that, because they have come and told me. You know what I mean? When lawyers have said that, you can't get to go run up the stairs, can't go to the gym and do exercises, you can't even lift a barbell. And the commonest factor among, you can ask anybody who took the vaccine, anyone. The common factor is tiredness. The second is difficulty in breathing. The third is severe body pain down the spine, for the spinal area. There is severe body pain which keeps on getting worse. Right? Then there is a problem in balancing. Then the problems in sight, seeing. Then problems in hearing problems. And so many other side effects I would say side effects. So many other effects have happened after the vaccine was taken. As to this is the direct cause of it, is a matter for the Western doctors who are not interested in pursuing the matter. You see? But I will tell you one thing. You check with the Ayurvedic department. The Ayurvedic department, they were here so many times, right? Including Venerable Nalakamduru, right? Who is famous for these medicines. And they will tell you how many people who took the vaccine came to him having serious complications. Came to them. And they cured these people. They had come under severe stress and strain after taking the vaccine, So they have, I think Nalaka Amduru is on video, I think I put it out some time ago. Right? He said that he has treated hundreds of patients who have come after the vaccine. Some have got paralyzed, some have got heart trouble, some have got all other problems, So these are things that you must check with the Ayurvedic department. Why don't you ask this chap about that?
Have you seen or have you come across any written correspondence between vaccine manufacturers and the government on the any legalities, any what should be done if there are complications, etc.? Any?
The government is not thinking of complications though. They are thinking of how to pour that vaccine down our people's throats in the easiest, quickest possible way. You know what I mean? Now they have been vaccine number 1, vaccine number 2. Vaccine number 2, it halted. Right? Then there was an incident where Sudarshini Fernando, at that time the minister, Chamudita was interviewing her on, I think, Salakuna, some big program that he was having. And you know the way Chamudita interviews, no? He kept on jumping and saying, tell us the truth here. You know, are there sexual disabilities in this vaccination? Then Sudarshini Fernando went round in circles, but finally you can't go around in circles with a person like Chamudita, no? If it's there, they will tell us. Then he got very, upset. I don't know. Right? So that is it. I give you the tips if you want, right? Of those interviews. So that is why the vaccination, these things stopped. But then they put a fear psychosis on the children, saying you can't do the O-levels, you can't do the A-levels unless you show the vaccination card. See how desperate they were to get rid of the vaccination, of the vaccines. They were not desperate to cure the people. They had to get rid of the vaccines that have been imported according to Kelly on millions and millions of dollars, from all over the country. That is how I think we first of all got into debt with India also. India sent all its rubbish to Colombo, by the plane load. And our people, including President Rajapaksa, right, went and took that vaccine that was given to him by the High Commissioner of India. You know what I mean? So, and then, wow, we are very happy, this and that. India unloaded all this stuff for us. And they are still sending it. You know what I mean? So then we gradually got into a situation with India. So there are a lot of situations like that, and the vaccination was used without proper testing in Sri Lanka. Or that, but I think anywhere in the world. Even the WHO said we can't guarantee this. No, they said we are not certain. We are not certain what this virus will do tomorrow. That is the WHO's constant stand on, just like Dr. Hemantha Erath. We can't be sure. Right? They never said that 100% guarantee here. They say we are not sure. We don't know what this chap will do next day. And no, then this happened, then there was another strain, right? And, so this is the situation. So it's a very uncertain situation. The health department, what the health department must do is go to these village places where they gave the vaccinations, where they gave the vaccines, and ask those people what happened to you after that, right? I will be surprised if they come back with the full skin, if they go to those areas. You know what I mean? Maybe that is why they don't go that side. Ask them, what happened to you? What happened to your neighbor? What happened to your neighbor's neighbor? What happened to your mother? What happened to your father? After they took the vaccine. Then see whether there is a connection between the two. The principle of probability says there is a connection, The scientific proof is in the government. They are not doing that. I'm not worried about the short-term problems here. You give a penicillin injection, you get fever. Right? That is a short-term thing. What I am talking about is the untested long-term side effects of this vaccine. My information is that the polio vaccine was tested somewhere about 30-40 years ago before they started working it here. So the long-term side effects, nobody has given any heed to these things. No. Imagine supposing after these vaccinations, right? Now there was another program where a doctor said, I'll give you that clip also. The doctor said that, government doctor, I think in the child unit, he said, vaccination is very safe, don't worry about it, take it. But we will want you to don't have children for 1 year. What is it? What is rub? I'll give you that clip, It's there. Don't have children for 1 year. Why? because there are certain other side effects. But at the same time, they started hitting the pregnant mothers who had children in their wombs. You know what I mean? This is you better come to your conclusion what type of conduct was carried out by these vaccinators, shall we say. You know? And the thing is, supposing, this is what I told the lawyers also, when I was informed that the lawyers had requested vaccinations, I put out an emergency message on the video, on my channel. And said to the lawyers here, be careful of what you are doing, because you are the future generation of this country. If anything happens to you after taking this vaccine, remember that you can't remove the arm after that. No? You can't cut out the arm and throw it away. You can't draw the whole thing out. No, once it is in, and that is the end of it. You know. And if anything happens, be careful. And I say, not only that, you don't know what effect this vaccine will have on the children, on your own children, your future children, which is the generation that you're going to take this country forward. You know. So as it is, you need a loss of memory and difficulty in walking and difficulty in breathing. You know. How do you know what is going to happen in 3-4 years' time? So without anything, these people are saying, take the vaccine. And you see, we have a little tiny community, no? We don't have citizens and people to spare, no? Unlike various other big countries who don't care whether millions die. Right? We have a little bit of people, no? You must safeguard those people, no? Right? So now apparently, I think now vaccine number 3 has stopped. Right? I think vaccine number 4 was also brought in during various time, if I'm not mistaken. Vaccine number 4, I think now is stuck. Right? So now they are trying their best to get rid of vaccine number 3. And I saw people, trying to show where is the vaccination being done, let us get the vaccine. And they are showing pictures of people getting vaccinated. So as to, I don't know, you must ask them.
So isn't being transparent about these correspondence? People have a right to know what's going on.
Obviously, we have a right to know, but they are not telling, no? So what is the next course of action that can be taken? They are not telling. State can be held accountable if you can prove it. The question is a matter of proof, which is with the West. And then there was this problem of the nano affair coming in. No?
Yes.
You see, now the nano matter is that in one of the last vaccines that they made out of some nanoparticles, right? See, there is I don't want to go into the nicety of medical science, right? So there are a lot of problems there,
So now there is a person. A long road to justice, right? And there may not be even a path for justice. Is that
No,
what you're trying to say?
in these circumstances, even the courts might accelerate proceedings.
Right.
Even the courts might accelerate proceedings. The question is not the want of courts, not the want of justice, it's the want of proof. So we have, on a balance of probabilities, this is the cause. But scientifically, it can't be proved. That is why I said in that article, I can't tell anybody not to take the vaccine. And I have never said that. Even now, I am not saying don't take the vaccine. I am going to say use your brains. That's why you give brains, no? Statistically, the situation is bad.
So now, you said that we don't have facilities to.
Not that we don't have facilities.
Yeah.
Facilities with the West, with the Western doctors, with their laboratories. The Ayurvedic people, I don't think, can go into this type of activity and check what is happening there.
We have
But Ayurveda people, okay, they can cure this, give it to us. What is the problem here?
communicate.
Why don't you ask earlier? You know,
I mean, the legality of all this.
the legality of it, this well, you see now, we don't know how they got at the expiry date. What tests were done, we don't know about how they got the expiry date. How on earth do we know how they extended the expiry date? And it was extended by the manufacturers. By the manufacturer, they said, no, don't worry, in other treatments you can use this. By the manufacturers. So people must come to their own conclusion as to what that implies, no? No. This way, you see, when you say it should be an informed choice. There is something in law called informed choice, That is where the person getting vaccinated should be informed by the person giving the vaccination of all the pros and cons of the matter. This is what will happen, this is what might happen, this is what might not happen. Now you want to take the vaccine. That is something that is never told by these people. No, they are the huge queue. With the army and navy and during the last regime, you see army, navy, and all these people hanging around there, and you find all these innocent people coming, and say, Anna, and that type of thing. They just jab it and go and take. But they don't realize once they jab it, they got to remove it. You know what I mean? So, what I have constantly told is, especially now, there is a move now to vaccinate the children from 12 to 18. No, 12 to 18 is the cream of this country. They will be the people who will be running this country in about 10, 15 years' time. If anything happens to them, right? You know what I mean? We will be finished as a race, no? As the race will be finished. So, what I have said is, two matters. The people taking the vaccine, right? Go to the place where the vaccination is given, ask the doctor in charge, doctor, tell me what are the possible side effects of this vaccine. Ask him. And the doctor is under a duty, a legal duty to tell the person who is asking, because he is giving a vaccine. And this is the person who is taking it. The taker is entitled to ask the giver as to what are you giving me. Tell them to ask. And tell them, of course, during the last regime, it was difficult because army and navy were infesting the whole vaccination areas. The people can ask the doctor, tell me. If the doctor lies and the patient dies, he will be liable for manslaughter. He will be liable for manslaughter, right? If he tells the lie. And then when it comes to children, what I said is, you see now, there was an instance when, remember, they said the students of schools, A level, O level, what they said, that no, you get your parents' consent and come, parent need not come. I don't know whether you remember that, you see. Get your parents' consent and they give a consent form, sign it and come. And parents don't have to come to the vaccination point, they will be taken inside. Right? So these little children, 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old children. So the mother or the father sits at the kitchen table and signs a vaccination form, I consent. And this poor child goes and gets a vaccination. Right? I mean, the mother and father should be charged for negligence of the child. You know what I mean? You see, the children, the mother, especially people over 12 or 13, I think they should be told specifically by the doctor, you to tell your mother to go away. This is what might happen to you. These are the disabilities you might have. These are the sexual disabilities you might encounter. That has been told by Dr. Hemante Ratha, not by me. Remember, I didn't say this. Dr. Hemant Therat said this. As Sudarshan Pran, I don't know. Those are all on record. So they can't now jump up and down and say, no, you never said this. You know what I mean? This is what they said. I am telling you what they said. If that is the case, you tell the child, I don't know whether you will have a sexual problem later on. You see whether the child will take you'll have to get nets to catch the child after that. You know what I mean? Huh? And the child should give his consent. Anybody over 12. There are very advanced people, no, when we were 12, not like that is not the people over 12 are not like what we were when we were 12, no. They are very advanced people. They are on the internet, they are constantly on Google, and they are very advanced people. The child should be given the choice whether he wants vaccination or not the parent. And the child should be told that. I mean, so without the parent, the child should be interviewed by the doctor. And you must remember, it might take time. But you are talking about the future of this generation, no? So I'm sure you can waste a few minutes with the child, no? Because there is no time for this. That is my view. That this is what and they are entitled to ask that. And the health authorities are under a moral and legal duty to inform the person receiving the vaccine about the possible side effects. Then give him the choice, do you want to take it or not? We see how far this will go.
Any other comments?
No, I think this is, I don't know why these are raised all of a sudden. Now, the Australian match was played. It was jam-packed with people. I did see maybe about 10 or 15 masks anywhere there. You know what I mean? Then these Udghoshans that happened. Millions came to Colombo. It was a very big scarcity of masks. So by now they should be dying like flies, of COVID. Right? You know what I mean? And then those teachers, Jaramara started last year, though. Where the people, they didn't come with their masks on. The people like Stalin and them, they didn't come with them. They shouted their heads off, with shoulder to shoulder, some without like this, including the leading politicians when they went on their Udghoshanas, So, I think what they're doing is wrong. To give the people a choice, you must tell them what the choice is, no? You can take it if you want, it's not a choice, no? What I mean, tell the people this is what can happen, this is what will not happen, what cannot happen. Then that is the choice. What is the meaning of this?
Thank you.